She was ridiculed the moment she entered Paris Fashion Week. Her creased clothing and tattered slip-ons were labeled as homeless chic by a derisive influencer. Security forcibly removed her while the crowd jeered. "Remove the maid from our runway." Humiliated yet resolute, Iris grasped a card that may jeopardize the show's star. A single utterance from her lips immobilized the room, precipitating the disintegration of the queen of couture's dominion. The Grand Prix in Paris was a cathedral of couture. The glass dome captures the autumn sunshine. The runway serves as a revered platform for the global fashion elite. Paris Fashion Week was the apex where designers ascended to divinity and garments transcended into historical significance. This evening, attention was focused on Celeste Duval, the current monarch of French fashion. Her brand exemplifies contemporary fashion and women's empowerment. Her exhibition was the season's premier event, attended by A-list celebrities, Vogue editors, and affluent buyers in the front row. The atmosphere thrummed with expectation. Chandeliers projecting diamonds on silk banners emblazoned with Celeste's emblem. Her Instagram, boasting 5 million followers, live-streamed the opulence, solidifying her status as untouchable. This was a realm where appearance was paramount, and an inappropriate gaze could obliterate one's existence. Iris Lane entered the event, her creased cotton blouse loosely tucked into rough linen trousers, her slip-ons scuffing the spotless floor. Before Iris could take her seat, the exclusive crowd transformed her presence into a merciless spectacle. Leah Voss, adorned in a resplendent gown, stood and gestured towards Iris's trousers, exclaiming, "Did she acquire those from a thrift shop custodian?" The audience erupted in laughter, their Rolexes shimmering as they captured images, sharing them in a WhatsApp group titled Fashion Week Royals. Ethan Crane, reclining in velvet, hurled a crumpled program at Iris, mockingly stating, "Utilize this for your resume." Diana Tate, her fur coat swaying, exclaimed, "She is an affront to couture." Their phones recorded the videos disseminating on Snapchat with captions such as, "Runway reject." Chloe Hart, the PR staffer, smirked from the periphery, her silence tacitly endorsing the assault. The laughter was overwhelming. Every taunt inflicted a new wound on Iris's pride. She stood resolute, her almond-shaped eyes steadfast, her satchel grasped as if it were protective armor. The post accumulated 25,000 views, with each share representing a public degradation of her dignity. At 42, she has a subtle allure. Almond-shaped eyes concealing secrets, chestnut hair styled in a loose braid, devoid of cosmetics to obscure her inherent radiance. Her canvas tote included a sketchbook, a pencil, and a worn photograph of her former studio. Iris was the enigmatic figure of fashion, the mastermind behind Maison X, a brand that previously outfitted Beyoncé, Cate Blanchett, and the royal family of Monaco. 10 years prior, her closest confidant and aide, Celeste Duval, appropriated her designs, established an empire, and labeled Iris as a plagiarist. The treachery devastated her career, compelling her into exile in Los Angeles, where she resided in anonymity, sewing thrift store fabrics to subsist. Upon her return to Paris, Iris sought not vengeance, but the restoration of her truth. She purchased a third-row ticket, her presence unobserved, her heart composed. The opulent palette resonated with affluence. Guests adorned in Dior and Chanel, sipping champagne, with their jewels shimmering under the illumination. Iris seated herself, her tote resting on her lap, her gaze surveying the runway. A fashion influencer, Leah Voss, with blonde hair draping over a sequin gown, observed Iris's attire and smirked. "Is this now a charitable event?" she murmured to her companion, a model called Ethan Crane clad in a velvet suit. Their laughter attracted attention, with phones raised to document Iris's unexpected appearance. Chloe Hart, a PR staff member, approached with her clipboard held firmly. "Apologies, this event is not accessible to uninvited guests," she stated in a frosty tone. "You are in the incorrect seat." Iris smiled slightly. "I possess a ticket," she replied, retrieving it from her tote. Chloe's gaze sharpened, scrutinizing Iris's slip-ons. This must be an error, she exclaimed audibly enough to attract attention. The embarrassment intensified. Leah Voss, broadcasting live to her 200,000 followers, focused on Iris, chuckling. Oh my God, who invited the housemaid? The front row, populated by editors and buyers, erupted in laughter, their camera flashes igniting like fireworks. Ethan leaned forward, exclaiming, "Did you lose your way to the laundry room?" The audience erupted, their phones raised, recording as Chloe motioned for security. Two robust guards in black suits seized Iris's arms with a tight grip. As Chloe called for assistance, the guards did not only escort Iris, they orchestrated spectacle. Victor, the chief guard, seized her tote, elevating it as if it were incriminating evidence, and said, "What is contained within? Misappropriated textile?" The audience jeered. Leah Voss was filming her live stream, the caption reading "Couture Criminal." Paul, the second guard, seized Iris's arm, his voice resonating. "You believed you could infiltrate Fashion Week." Ethan Crane exclaimed, "Search her pockets. She's likely a pickpocket." The audience's phones captured the event, with the footage disseminating on X, tagged Nad Gatecrasher, garnering 30,000 retweets. Iris unveiled her tote, which contained solely her sketchbook, but Victor dismissed it, muttering, "Trash like her outfit." The humiliation constituted a public trial, while the guard's hostility served as a calculated display for the elite. Iris's slip-ons were cumbersome, her almond-shaped eyes betraying her discomfort, yet her silence remained resolute, a subtle defiance in the face of adversity. "Let's proceed, madam," one murmured, pulling her from her seat, her slip-ons scuffing the floor. The audience erupted in applause, with a woman in a fur coat, identified as Diana Tate, exclaiming, "Back to the streets." The video was uploaded to TikTok, titled "Nan Fashion Fail," accumulating 50,000 views within minutes. Iris remained composed, her almond-shaped eyes unwavering, her dignity serving as a silent defense against the crowd. The second guard tightened his hold on Iris's arm, yet she did not react. As Iris was drawn past the backstage area, Celeste's crew unleashed a torrent of hostility. A seamstress named Elise, threading a needle, scoffed, "Look at her. She likely utilizes duct tape for sewing." Mark Lauren, perusing a mood board, chuckled. "She has come to plead for leftovers." A lighting technician, modifying a spotlight, remarked, "Celeste is too significant for someone like her." Their voices reverberated amidst the turmoil, audible to Iris as she adjusted her tote. An intern transporting coffee snickered, sharing a photo of Iris to the crew's group chat, captioned, #Lost in the alley. The image was disclosed to a tabloid. Each remark was lamentable. "Prescribe her. A recent injury." The crew's malice reflected the disdain of the runway, their remarks a deliberate attempt to diminish Iris's value. Her chestnut braids undulated, her almond-shaped eyes ablaze. Yet she persevered, their animosity failing to disrupt her poise. As Iris was escorted toward the exit, the runway lights faded, and Celeste Duval appeared backstage in a white silk gown, it seemed glistening with meticulously hand-stitched pearls. At 38, she was an embodiment of elegance. With platinum hair elegantly styled and emerald eyes glistening, her grin exuded a cultivated poise. The audience erupted in applause, with Vogue's editor-in-chief joining in the ovation. Celeste's business represented a $500 million empire. Her design showcased at the Met Gala, and her TED presentation on empowerment garnered 10 million views. As she advanced, her gaze traversed the crowd and fixated on Iris, positioned at the periphery of the venue. Her smile dissipated, and her complexion drained. "No, it cannot be," she murmured, her voice inadvertently captured by a nearby microphone. A reporter, a young woman named Sophie Bell, inquired, "Do you recognize that woman? It appears to be a misunderstanding." Celeste's breath faltered, her demeanor fracturing. "No," she replied curtly. "I do not know her. Security, remove her at once." She retrieved a silver embossed card from her tote, its subtle emblem inscribed with Maison X. To the unacquainted, it held little significance. To the elite of the fashion world, it was a relic from a bygone age. Iris's voice was subdued yet distinct, penetrating the tumult. "I believe Celeste recalls me," she stated, her gaze fixed on her former associate. "I was her mentor. She was my protege, the one who replicated every sketch, every seam, every silhouette, and transformed them into the empire for which you all applaud." The room became still, gasps reverberating through the audience. Celeste's mouth opened in denial, but Iris raised a hand, unwavering. "I possess the copyrights," she stated. "The original invoices to Monaco's royal family, along with the backstage video footage capturing her clandestinely recording my sketchbooks, accessing my locked drawers, and transmitting files to her personal email." The audience remained motionless, phones lowered, flashes extinguished. Iris retrieved her phone, her fingers unwavering, and accessed Twitter. It marked her inaugural post in 10 years. The display illuminated with grainy footage. A younger Celeste stealthily traversed Iris's studio, capturing images of sketches and emailing files to herself. The video's timestamp was unmistakable, 2013, a year prior to Celeste's debut collection. Reporters advanced eagerly, cameras capturing the moment as Sophie Bell tweeted, "Maison X has returned, and Celeste Duval is revealed." The post garnered 100,000 retweets within minutes, propelling Crown Thief to global trending status. Celeste's gown appeared to sag. Her emerald eyes were filled with alarm. "This is a falsehood," she faltered. However, the murmurs of the crowd overwhelmed her, their applause supplanted by astonishment. The live broadcast of the presentation malfunctioned, inundated by 2 million viewers. Each comment sought authenticity. Behind the scenes, Celeste's crew was in disarray. Her creative director, Marc Laurent, said, "She's bluffing. No records were maintained from that era." However, Iris's tote contained more than just a phone. She revealed a leather-bound folder, its pages embossed with copyright seals from 2012, bills endorsed by Princess Charlene of Monaco, and letters from Beyoncé's stylist lauding Maison X's unparalleled vision. Iris presented the folder to Sophie, who broadcasted it on Instagram, her 300,000 followers observing as evidence accumulated. "These are originals," Sophie declared, her voice trembling. Celeste's inaugural collection corresponds precisely with Iris's sketches, including the stitching. The audience gasped while editors murmured, "It's true." Leoza's live stream abruptly ceased, her sequins losing their luster as she settled into her seat. Ethan's velvet suit wrinkled, his smirk vanished. The guards liberated Iris, retreating with ashen expressions. The Grand Palette's chandeliers dimmed, altering the room's atmosphere. Iris positioned herself at the venue's periphery, her cotton shirt reflecting the light, her almond-shaped eyes serene yet intense. She refrained from shouting or weeping. She spoke once more, her voice sharp as a blade. "A decade ago, I placed my trust in Celeste," she declared. "She appropriated my work and my identity, leaving me destitute. Today, I am not here to plead. I am here to demonstrate who constructed this empire." The audience rose, their phones now capturing Iris rather than Celeste. Vogue editor Anna Chen tweeted, "Iris Lane is Maison X. We have been misled." The post garnered 500,000 likes. Hashtag Maison X trended as TikTok surged with clips of Iris's address. Celeste's team hurried her backstage, yet the harm was irreversible. Her crown was faltering, her empire fracturing. The show was halted, the runway lights dimming as organizers convened. The Haute Couture Council, Paris's fashion authority, released a statement. Pending investigation, Celeste Duval's presentation is annulled. Reporters besieged Iris, but she dismissed them, her tote draped over her shoulder. "The truth is revealed," she murmured, proceeding toward the exit. Behind her, Celeste's gown caught on a chair, ripping as she hastened to her dressing room, her sobs resonating. Following Iris's expulsion, Leah Voss intensified the assault through a viral defamation campaign. She manipulated a video of Iris's experience, featuring her distressed expression, her tote being rummaged, and her slip-on shoes scraping the ground, all accompanied by a derisive laugh track and captioned, "Fashion Week's biggest loser, #StreetTrash." The actual post garnered 150,000 views on Instagram, with remarks such as, "She's an embarrassment. Keep her away." Ethan Crane disseminated it on TikTok, stating, "This is why we safeguard couture from pretenders." The video proliferated on YouTube, trending worldwide. Each view was a new affront to Iris, who observed it on a boutique television while waiting nearby. Fashion Week attendees at the boutique gestured and murmured, "That's the reject." Their laughter was piercing, yet Iris readjusted her tote, her almond-shaped eyes unwavering, her composure serving as a bulwark against the online horde. The campaign constituted a worldwide condemnation. Leah's influence exploited Iris's suffering for notoriety. The spectators' devices incessantly recorded, each share a testament to couture's malevolence. Leah's follower count dwindled. Her #FashionFail video was overwhelmed by comments such as, "You derided a legend." Ethan's modeling agency terminated his contract. His velvet suit became an anachronism. Diana's fur coat was burdensome. Her front row position lost its significance. The Grand Pal, formerly Celeste Domain, had transformed into Iris's platform, her subtle influence reshaping history. The repercussions were immediate and severe. By morning, the New York Times published a headline, "The Crown Thief, Celeste Duval's Empire Founded on Appropriated Brilliance." The article outlined Iris's evidence, copyrights, invoices, and the incriminating video authenticated by fashion historians. Celeste's brand suffered a $200 million depreciation in value. Her flagship store in Paris closed, its windows obscured. The council prohibited her participation in Paris Fashion Week, and her name was removed from couture records. The scandal not only dismantled Celeste, it devastated her allies' careers. Leah Voss's influencer empire disintegrated as brands such as Chanel severed ties with her. Her Instagram followers dwindled to 10,000. Her subsequent gown was sold to defray legal expenses. Ethan Crane's modeling agency ostracized him. His TikTok account was suspended for harassment. His velvet suit became a thrift store artifact. Marc Lauren's design firm faced a boycott from Paris's ateliers, resulting in his name being expunged from fashion credits. The Haute Couture Council publicly denounced these actions in a press release that gained widespread attention, with #CoutureCriminals trending. During a Milan fashion event, attendees donned Maison spins as a silent homage to Iris, while deliberately excluding Celeste's former team. Social media surged with users declaring, "They ridiculed Iris. Now they are insignificant." Iris stood in her loft, her cotton shirt radiant, observing the news as the industry capitulated to her veracity. The perpetrator's disgrace became a public spectacle, their trepidation regarding Iris's legacy an indelible stain. Iris's evidence ignited a legal conflagration, with Julian's legal team initiating a $75 million lawsuit against Celeste brand for theft, implicating her, Marc, and their public relations firm. The court granted Iris $30 million, resulting in Celeste's empire declaring bankruptcy. Her flagship store was locked, and her gowns were seized. Marc's assets were frozen, and his Milan condominium was sold to cover damages. The settlement financed the global expansion of Silent Needles, establishing branches in New York and Tokyo and training 1,000 designers. Fashion houses globally embraced Iris's truth and design pledge, prohibiting the use of stolen work, motivated by her stance. WWD published a cover article titled, "Iris Lane Couture's Conscience," featuring her iconic tote. Social media celebrated, with Iris's principles trending as users shared her triumph over a thief and her legacy. During a silent needle workshop, a student expressed gratitude to Iris, noting that her designs are now safeguarded. Iris smiled, her almond-shaped eyes radiant, her success serving as a beacon for the marginalized. The culpable quaked, their dominions reduced to ashes beneath her subtle influence. Her TED Talk was retracted. Her narrative of empowerment was revealed as fraudulent. Social media was unrelenting. #Celeste fraud trended as users disseminated posts. She appropriated Iris's essence. Celeste's team released a denial, but it disintegrated under examination, leading to the disgraceful resignation of her creative director, Mark. Leia's influencer career deteriorated. Her sequin gown was sold online. Ethan's Instagram account was suspended, resulting in the loss of his followers. Diana's buyer status was rescinded. Her fur coat became a symbol of disgrace. Iris did not remain in the limelight. A month later, she stood in a refurbished Parisian loft, her slip-ons silent on the hardwood, announcing the relaunch of Maison X. The label's inaugural collection, featuring hand-stitched silks, vibrant linens, and resilient cotton, sold out within hours, donned by Zenaya and Emma Watson at Cannes. Iris also established the Silent Needle, a design academy for creators marginalized by the industry. Its inaugural class educated 100 women, their narratives of appropriated work resonating with Iris's own experiences. She meticulously managed every detail, her sketchbook brimming with innovative designs, and her tote a ubiquitous presence at workshops. Her spouse, Julian Lane, a technology magnate who had financed a resurgence, provided silent support, his Bentley stationed outside. However, it was Iris's vision that propelled the endeavor. The loft's walls showcased her former sketches, once pilfered, now revered. Correspondence from students inundated her, expressing gratitude for granting them a voice. She perused each letter, her almond-shaped eyes gleaming with determination. Celeste's empire remained irreparably damaged. Her brand was ostracized from Milan and New York, with her boutiques supplanted by transient retail establishments. She withdrew to a modest apartment, her gowns sold at auction to cover legal expenses. Mark's career concluded, his reputation irrevocably linked to the scandal. Leia and Ethan sought employment in retail. Their allure diminished. Diana's socialite network excluded her. Her fur coat was donated. The fashion industry observed Iris's ascent. Her cotton shirt became a symbol of resilience. She refrained from boasting. She established a legacy, not through anger, but with poise. Maison X's Instagram, launched after the show, reached 1 million followers. Each post served as a testament to Iris's brilliance. The Silent Needle's graduates made their debut at London Fashion Week. Their designs embody Iris's essence. Iris and Julian spent evenings in their Montmartre apartment, its balcony vibrant with jasmine. She donned a cotton shirt, while he wore a sweater devoid of a tie. They sketched over wine, her tote on the table containing a new photograph. Iris stood at the Tranquil Needle's opening, her smile luminous. Their affluence was substantial, yet their purpose was even greater. Grounded in a mutual passion for creation, the world recognized Iris not as a victim, but as a formidable force who transformed betrayal into genius. Iris Lane required no accolades. She embodied the design. Like, share, and subscribe for other narratives of this nature, and inform us in the comments. Did you anticipate that outcome?